So what I thought about the AI new feature that is now introducing into YouTube, right? So yeah, just crazy, man. 20 years after YouTube's been changing a lot lately. The policy change and all that stuff, right? But now like there's an AI and you have to show your government ID and all that stuff, right? A lot of people say that this is like BS, right? In my opinion, it's not, right? And I have to tell you why, right? Like I'm kind of like happy this feature is coming out because I get YouTube is a very popular platform and people use it on a daily basis, right? Well, let's say like millions of people, right? And people just waste like majority of the time just looking on YouTube, right? YouTube's been very convenient and all that stuff, like, and it helps, right? Instead of people searching on the web how to do this, they can just watch the video, right? Videos, I mean, YouTube is used for like variety of reason, right? So yeah, of course, like there's a lot of videos that is not appropriate to certain audience, right? Just based on their age, their ethnicity, their their cultural background and all that stuff, right? Just depending on how different the person is, right? I feel like the previous video that I made, like why my generation is cooked and why we're so screwed, it's because of internet, right? I get we cannot blame parents for for the failure of Gen Z, right? Or or people like why we didn't grow up successfully. We just cannot blame the parent problem. We have to blame the internet, right? And yeah, I get it. Like YouTube, before doesn't have a way of detecting your age and all that stuff, right? And yeah, like a lot of YouTubers get in trouble and they get fined and all that stuff because they're showing inappropriate content to kids, right? A lot of popular YouTubers that I can just list them all in this video endlessly and it'll just go long, so I don't have to name them all of them, right? But yeah, thank God this feature just came out, right? Because I feel like we're gonna have a lot more less stupid people out there, right? Yeah, sometimes YouTube just cannot detect all the videos that just isn't appropriate for certain audience, right? There's no way to detect them. I mean, now YouTube is restricting age now, like only adults can watch YouTube, not children's anymore. So yeah, but you never know. People just have to they just find alternative way like how to get these kids on YouTube. They're just gonna find another way, right? These kids are so damn smart, right? So yeah, and this is why our kids grow up so goofily, right? And act so stupid, right? I gotta blame people who are irresponsible of this. If you guys complain about this, blame for people who's irresponsible. Don't blame me or don't blame YouTube, right? People just don't want to take responsibility, and that is just the problem, right? Yeah, because I'm sick of dealing with retarded fucking dipshit that comment on my video that are rude and all that stuff, right? I told you, man, like, yeah, I have enough of your shit. And if you're gonna post shit on my video, if you're gonna disrespect me for no reason, I'm just gonna remove you or just completely block the fuck out of you, right? And I hate it. I hate these annoying trolls, right, that go on the fucking internet, right, that can make so many alter accounts that constantly go harass people. I'm kind of glad this feature came out because I hope that you have to show your face in government ID, right? So that way, I feel like these people need to be monitored, right? Of what they're doing on YouTube and why go on YouTube, right? They need to monitor, right? And also you need to like track their IP address and everything, right? But now like our privacy is now like it's like getting exposed as much as ever. It's because some people just don't know how to take advantage of it, right? I feel like too much privacy in life is sometimes not good, right? You have to expose them so that way they can get their shit right, right? So Yeah, I just heard that 2025 is releasing AI. I heard like back in 2020 or something like that. I heard that YouTube's getting more stricter, right? Well, which is a good thing. Well, every like few years, something, new things gonna come out, right? Eventually, hopefully, the the alpha generation, or the one after that, right? So hopefully they will grow better than us, right? But we don't know as a fact. But yeah, I heard that this is like testing your country, your worldwide, right? I heard I tested in Australia, and some country in Europe, right? I think this is definitely go worldwide. This should definitely do so. So people agree and people don't disagree, right? This is why they like and they dislike the video, right? They just removed the dislike button, right? Just like a few years ago. No, wait, it's like 4 years, right? It's because we have so many people that are just sensitive about criticism, right? And those are just the facts, right? So that way they don't get their feelings hurt and all stuff, right? So yeah, because without the AI feature, I feel like AIs can be used, for a lot of reasons. They can like be a really bad thing and they can be a really good thing, right? I mean, artificial intelligence was like introduced like in like 2024, 2025. This is why, a lot of people could hate this year, right? And so is me, right? Just from looking, perspectively and be very honest and truthful, 2025 could be way worse than 2020, right? And this is why, ever since 2020 happened, like I always hate that year for the rest of my life. And I will never forget about that year, right? Ever since then, things have gone downhill, right? And now we got freaking AIs, taking over the world, right? Freaking artificial intelligence. Now they even make robots out of it, right? Now we have AI, right? Yeah, like everybody just lies about their age and just dishonesty, right? You know that there's always people that are very dishonest about themselves, right? We all know that as a common sense, right? Because now we have AI, to verify all that information, all your privacy information. Now, like now you just cannot lie, right? They can like look at your face. They have technology that can like print your face just to see like if you like look young or if you look old. And if that's not enough, then they have to ask for your ID just to verify exactly how old you are, right? So yeah, some people do look different, all stuff, right? Even though we age differently and we look differently, right? So yeah, because before, on YouTube, by verifying your age without looking at image, everybody can just lie about their age, right? For example, let's say that this person is like extremely young, like not in their teenager or just child year, right? They can just easily lie, say that they're easily over 18 years old, right? They can just put some like random numbers, right? That doesn't tell them their actual age, right? Even like you just see a stranger, right? A random anonymous stranger, even if you look at their face, you still don't know their exact age, right? Until they tell you or until they verify with you, right? Yeah, so right away, like if YouTube, I feel like a lot of accounts couldn't get removed if they somehow have a kids account, right? I feel bad for for your other young YouTuber as well, for those who just work so hard just to earn this many subscriber and attention, and they put all these grind and time into video. I feel like if their YouTube just gets deleted just for like no reason, then maybe YouTube has come up with some exception, right? Let's say that this YouTuber is really good, but then it's like under the age of 18. There's gotta be some exception, right? But in general, if this YouTuber just not that popular and doesn't have that many subscribers, doesn't have many attention, then I feel like they're just gonna wipe it out, right? YouTube should just keep a certain content on video that's helping people and certain content that isn't helping people, right? So YouTube just should prioritize based off like that, right? So yeah, this is why we have so many annoying, scumbags all over, YouTube and douchebag. We have a lot of annoying people because of the internet, right? And the internet can also be, addictive too, right? It can be very addictive and very distractuous, right? So yeah, this is why, I behave the way I was, it's sometimes because of the internet, right? Yeah, I remember I do watch, inappropriate content, when I was, not even 18 yet. And this is how I got in trouble in school, and this is how I just keep repeating, all these funny random words, right? Because as perspective, you don't know that I am actually autistic, right? As an autistic person, seeing, this way, right? So yeah, this is exactly, what's going on with these kids right now, right? They're looking at content, that should only be shown to adult, and they look and they just learn from it, and that's why, their behavior is just really getting really bad, right? And it just really gets out of control, right? That's exactly what's happening. So yeah, well, I think in the future, like I said again, YouTube is gonna require, everybody to show their face, right? And all stuff, right? Well, they're gonna find ways, to track people down, right? All stuff, right? So that way they don't take advantage, of other people, and just because of, too much privacy, right? People just take advantage of that. And yeah, right? This is why when you keep taking advantage, in a bad way, right? You get punished for it. Eventually, sometimes everybody gets punished, right? It's just like one bad apple, you just drop in, all the good apple, and all that's gonna get ruined in a matter of time, right? So this is actually what happened. So people, should not complain about it, right? Everything happens for a reason. So yep, you mishandle it, you take things for granted, everybody pays the consequence, right? That's just how it works. So yeah, there might be a lot of underage, children, that probably, watches my YouTube, right? Probably. So yeah, there's always so many immature people, right? And so many stupid people, right? They're so goddamn stupid, Mia. I feel like they're never educated on all stuff, right? Too many stupid people that I really don't want to put up with, right? I mean, that's what I want YouTube to do, right? So yeah, if they act all crazy and they act all stupid and all stuff, just remove them from YouTube. Or just ban them permanently, right? So yeah, I feel like YouTube has also created a lot of issues in the past too, right? People lose their lives over YouTube, right? Yeah, like people even want to get popular on YouTube, or just so much attention, right? Just by doing all these stupid pranks and all that stuff, right? Or just harass people in general, right? Yeah, I've been watching, YouTube. I spent like majority of the time on YouTube, I even see, people got killed, or or getting like hurt, or all that stuff, right? Yeah, I feel like what happened is, like, what happened if YouTube died? What happened if YouTube gets removed? Then life will be so much different, right? And a lot of people that isn't supposed to be popular based on YouTube, they wouldn't be popular today, right? Because what if YouTube doesn't exist, right? I already spent 10 years already on YouTube, right? And I know my channel doesn't get blown up. That's because I don't put so much effort into it, right? Now I put way more effort into this and doing all these graphic video and all these, fancy video, all stuff. Maybe my channel would have blown up already. So, and I'm barely at 2,000 subscribers. So I don't expect everything to stay the same in the next few years. So yeah, this is not surprising to me. So yeah, I'm just saying, right? So let me think of other possible reasons, like how am I, responding to this, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the parents, maybe YouTube should, aside from YouTube, like doing AI feature and stuff, I think they should help parents responsible for this, man, right? Make sure tracking their kid, make sure, they don't do this and stuff. But I feel like sometimes, it's too much for them, right? It's too much for parents, to keep track of their children, all the time, because I know some of them are busy and all stuff, right? So they have the one that have to do the policing, right? They have the one that have to teach, people, to do the right things in life, right? To raise them the right way, right? So I don't know what else to say, right? So yeah, I remember that people even make a living, off of YouTube. So I know YouTube's, yeah, because I know that YouTube, if you just hit like certain amounts of subscribers and all stuff, like, or certain amounts of, amounts of views and watchable minutes, you earn money on YouTube, right? So yep, and they're also doing it on your Spotify, and also your other social media, right? And now I think of another possible reason, like why, the AI can be also be benefit too. So that way, they'll make impersonate your accounts, right? Yeah, they are so weird. There's some freaking weirdos out there, that's just making your fake profile picture of somebody else, right? Just for attention, just for views and all that stuff, right? Sometimes that can get really annoying, right? Some people may not be popular, or whether popular or not, like, they just steal images straight up from the freaking internet, and people get to make like multiple and bots accounts, right? All over on YouTube, right? Yeah, the channel that I subscribe to, the people that I follow, some people that I just really follow on their YouTube channel, like strictly, right? Sometimes, I can see, like people make fake account out of them, right? I think for every account, that, any user makes or anyone makes, they have to get government ID, right? I feel like YouTube will, clean up a lot of this mess, like if everybody just only has like one account, right? Instead of having like multiple of accounts, right? I feel like people make multiple accounts because they just want to, just to harass someone, anonymously, right? That way, you can never criticize them, you can never see them, you just never know like what they do, right? And also government will keep track of, like what video you watch and all that stuff, right? Sorry, it was a little long video because there's just a lot of things, I can think of, right? That should be said in this video, right? Yeah, so government can keep track, right? Like now, they know who you are, they know everything about you, they know, your view history and all that stuff. Like, oh, like they watch this content channel, right? If you keep watching this certain content, that is actually not good for you, then that is where, they start red flagging you right away. So, yep. yeah, they'll track your IP address, they'll track, everything, right? So all the information that's gathered, they're just gonna track all over you, right? So yeah, man. So, but yeah, I think that should reduce, that should, it does solve the problem, but it's just not gonna be like, yeah, it will never be, ever be perfect, right? Nothing is perfect, right? But if things are not perfect, you can make things, much better than it was, before, right? So yeah, so wow. But yeah, that's all I can think of, as of, right now, right? So comment and what you think about this video, right? This long 20-minute video that I'm talking about this YouTube, AI thing, right? So gonna have to end it off here, and goodbye.